Have you ever noticed how your communication changes under pressure? You say something and immediately think, that didn't land at all. And the frustrating part is, you know how to communicate. In this video, I'll show you why that happens and how to stay grounded so what you actually say lands the way you intend. I'm Melanie, a leadership coach working with leaders in high-stakes environments, often outdoors, where communication really matters. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple way to regulate your state so your message creates clarity instead of pressure. Most leaders try to improve communication by working on their wording, their tone, their delivery, and that works in calm situations. But the real challenge shows up under pressure. When time is short, stakes are high, or emotions are involved, something shifts. Suddenly, speak faster, you become more direct, your patience drops, and often you don't even notice it in the moment. It just feels like, I need to get this across. But afterwards, you reflect and you think, that wasn't how I wanted to show up, or that sounded harsher than I meant, or that probably created some pressure. And this is the moment many leaders start questioning their communication skills. But here's the important part. It's actually not your skill that failed. I call this the communication state trap, because in those moments, it's not a skill problem, it's a state problem. When pressure increases, your nervous system automatically shifts into protection. This is not something you decide, it's a biological response. And in that state, your body tightens, your breathing becomes more shallow, and your attention narrows. You become more focused on solving, fixing, moving forward, and less aware of how you're actually coming across. And that directly impacts your communication. Your sentences become shorter, your tone becomes sharper, and your presence becomes more intense. And here's the key insight. People don't respond to your intention. They respond to your state. And this happens incredibly fast. Before someone consciously processes your words, they've already registered your energy, your pace, your level of tension. So even if your intention is, I want to be clear, I want to be efficient, I want to help, if your state carries pressure, that's what people experience. I see this very clearly in outdoor leadership coaching environments. I once guided a leader across a glacier, and at one point he slipped just slightly, nothing dramatic, but enough to trigger tension. And instantly his communication changed. He became more directive, shorter in his instructions, less patient. Same person, same capability, but different state. And the moment he paused, the moment he took a breath and grounded himself, everything shifted. His voice slowed down again, his instructions became clearer, and people responded differently. Not because he changed his words, but because he changed his state. And the same thing happens in everyday leadership. You might say, okay, let's just align quickly on this. But if you're rushed, tense, slightly impatient, it can land as pressure, urgency, and even control. Same words, different state. Completely different impact. And this is where many leaders get stuck. They replay the conversation and think, I should have said that differently. They try to fix the phrasing, but the real leverage point is earlier. It's the state you bring into the moment. Because your state shapes how you speak, how you listen, and how others interpret everything you say. So if you want to change your communication, you don't start with better wording. You start with awareness. So instead of trying to communicate better in the moment, start here with a simple 2-step check. Step 1, physiology. Am I tense, rushed, holding my breath? And 2, intent. Am I trying to control this or create space for thinking? And even a small shift here, 1 deeper breath, a slight pause, a softening of your pace, can completely change how your message lands. So before your next conversation, take 10 seconds. Check your state, slow your pace, and then speak. And notice the difference. Your words land the way you intend. people feel heard, and your message creates the clarity and impact you were aiming for. If you want to grow your positive impact as a leader, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more science-backed leadership insights, because great leadership moves people and mountains.